Hello and welcome to Crits and Knits. We got the whole gang. Yay! It's been a little
We all
while.
survived.
Yeah. We had life and summer. And it's still summer, but we're trying to get back to schedule-ish. Ish.
Ish.
Ish. How's everyone
Yeah.
doing? Oh no. How's your crafting going?
Better than life.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, it's been the last time we had a stream was June 7th, so it's been like 2 months.
Holy shit.
I know, right? Life.
Mhm.
It happens. Summer happens.
Um,
Anyone have stuff to show off?
I did a thing where I made a water bottle sling. I don't have it because I gave it to my sister. I'm working on another one, but I don't like the feeling of the yarn in my hands.
Oh,
It's
no.
a bad
What is
texture.
what is the fiber content of the yarn?
Don't know.
I'm betting it's cotton.
But it doesn't feel
I bet
good.
cotton.
It doesn't feel good.
Cotton does
and
not
then
feel good.
I started another bag.
Which app?
Sorry,
I started another dice
my
bag.
watch had ideas about your bag. I think.
Yeah, apparently. And then I'm working on some Halloween squares.
Nice.
Fun.
Cool. Anyone else have stuff?
I'm working on a wrap.
A wrap.
I'll hold it up. Yeah, like a shawl.
Oh yeah. I've seen
Oh,
pictures of it.
I heard rat, not
I
a
also
rat.
heard rat.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
Yay, enunciation. Yes. So this is the Cuddle Puddle wrap, a pattern by Darcy Does It, and it's in yarn that I got locally here in North Carolina, from the Fiber Studio in Charlotte. And the yarn it's one of those dyed so that about 20% of it is this fuchsia-ish color, and then the rest of it is the silvery color. So it has the planned pooling, which lets you, the way the pattern works, when you get to the fuchsia type part, it you do stuff to make elongated stitches, so it's somewhat random where those patterns show up just based on how the yarn works out and everything. So I'm in my second hank of two. I'm just doing two hanks of yarn here, so I'm over halfway through. I started it. I went on a cruise with my family a few weeks ago, and it was the perfect thing for, you don't have to carry a pattern around. You don't have to think. You just do the recipe, and there you go. So that is my that's the thing that I've been working on the most. I'm also working on a little cowl that I also brought for the cruise, which is just doing stockinette in the round. Because again, you don't have to think, you don't even have to look at it. You can just go. So
Nice.
That sounds like my kind of thing right there.
yeah, it's great. Yeah, I forget the designer's name, but it is called the Sockhead Cowl, which is a companion to the Sockhead hat, where you just use sock weight yarn. You do a little bit of ribbing to give it, with the hat you do a lot of ribbing, but with the cowl you do a little bit of ribbing, and then you just do stockinette in the round until you almost run out of yarn. Do another little bit of ribbing. Got a cowl, you can squunch it up around your neck. You can pull it up over your face when you go fishing, or over the back of your head, or if it's cold, or whatever. So those are my yes, multi-purpose.
And it'll use a whole skein.
Purpose. Yes, yeah, use the whole skein. And so those are like the two yarny things I've been working on the past couple of months. But I also wanted to share something that literally arrived at my door shortly before we started recording or streaming or whatever it is that we're doing. I got it. I got this for my daughter, and it came from Katrinkles,
Oh.
who I love.
You got a plant press?
I got a plant press for
Oh,
my daughter.
I've seen those.
Aw.
Yeah, so Katrinkles makes a lot of wooden stitch markers and tools and things like this. I met her at a trade show years ago. Katie is delightful. And so this plant press came. So it's like a little, it's a wooden square. It's that big, and
wow.
plant press on one side. The other side has instructions on how to press the plants. Back it up a little bit, and you take your plants and you put them in the press and you put some blotting paper. Katie suggests using like watercolor paper because it's absorbent. Put some blotting paper in there and you squeeze it, and it came with some screws. So you like really squeeze it down to press the plant as you would do with a plant press. And a couple of days later, you've got a pressed plant. So you can
Nice.
put it in your scrapbooks or whatever. So
Sorry, I'm gonna ask a question.
yeah,
So
you
I
go,
didn't mean-
you go.
Didn't mean to interrupt, but is this because of Blueberry's like character, or is this something that they've always been into?
Yeah. She's always loved nature, and oh my gosh, she collects plants, and there's plants drying out all over the house almost all the time, and hopefully getting a plant press will help encourage her to press them and catalog them and contain them. So,
That's fair.
Good luck.
I just
See, I mean,
yeah, I
could,
know.
She could be like me, and I'm still. My parents gave me dictionaries, or not dictionaries, encyclopedias, and I found some flowers and stuff pressed in there because I pressed flowers in every book I could find. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did the same.
Yeah.
And so I saw on Katie's Instagram a few days ago a story with this plant press thing, and I thought, oh, this is great. Blueberry will love it. My wife will love it. I love it. And so I got it, and it showed up today. And I think the next like gift giving occasion for Blueberry will be probably Christmas. So I don't know if I'll wait till Christmas to give it to her or not. I might. She's at camp right now. Maybe I'll give it to her when she comes
or
back
it could
from
be
camp.
a first day of school gift.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
you have to go
Yes.
back there. You
Back
have
to
something
school.
fun.
Yeah, that's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now. So
My
there you
God.
go. That's what it will be. I wish it had come. I'd seen it and it had come before she went to camp, because then she could have taken it to camp and pressed plants at camp. But whatever. Camp comes around every year. She can do it next year.
Yes.
That's my stuff.
Back to school. Oof.
Yeah.
E, you looked like you had something.
Yes, I have multiple somethings.
Yay!
Oh, hang on, I just got a text.
Oh.
One of the things I got is a text.
Yes.
Here's a message.
Okay, so I finished my other. You wouldn't download a knitting pattern.
Bet.
So now I have
Yay!
2 greaves for my maybe
Yes.
someday Owen costume.
I love it.
Then I made myself a nice thing.
Yes.
Oh, that's really pretty. And a beautiful sentiment.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
love the floss because it's neon. So on the black Aida cloth, it looks like a light bright in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I did this for a friend. I still have to figure out how to frame it because it's an odd size.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It turned out so good.
like
Yeah,
it.
I'm glad. I initially had a darker purple on the crystal, and I didn't like it, so I picked it all out and did a lighter purple, and I think the effect is better now.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
I have to iron that puppy, and then I think I'm going to have my dad custom frame it,
Ooh.
Nice.
as long as he doesn't turn it into like a shipyard project. He worked at a shipyard, and so like everything turns into something that is sub-safe and doesn't need to be sub-safe.
It's
And
It
then
doesn't
my-
need to be, but what would it hurt?
Everything. Then my latest project I started because I really need to clean out my yarn stash because I may be coming into more and better yarn this fall.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I don't know where that would be.
So I decided to clean out my acrylic, and I'm doing a
Ooh.
blanket, and I'm going to eventually donate to the Linus Project because the
Oh,
local,
nice.
oops, this is backwards. The local Joann's has a donation box. So I'm cleaning out the acrylics.
Awesome.
So
And this
I'm a
Yeah.
little confused. What you said seemed to indicate that if you get more and nicer yarn, you have to use up yarn you already have. Is that
My
like a
box-
thing?
My box to which it must be contained is overflowing. I cannot
Oh,
close the
oh.
lid.
Wait, you
Oh.
you have a finite space that you're
You
You
have
have
to-
a box?
I do have a finite space
And it's
because
only
I
one
live
box?
in a house with other people and I can't take over the space because I do not
I
own
mean-
the house.
I
Fair
mean,
enough.
I see space behind you.
That's
I mean,
fair.
my house is roughly box shaped. That's the box I'm working within.
That's a box.
But
I
yes,
have like
That's a
a
George-
big
that's a-
old Rubbermaid
It's a George
tote
Carlin
that-
sketch right there.
Yeah, I did want to use some of it up because it's
Yeah.
like I've got so much that it's like it's not enough for a whole project, but it'll
Right.
be perfect for a stripe on
Yeah.
this puppy.
Yeah. And that's the thing with scraps. You do hit a point where you've got to find a scrappy project, otherwise you don't have enough left of any one thing to do a full thing.
Mhm.
So it just keeps collecting and collecting and
Yeah.
collecting.
You have
Yeah,
to
like
find a
more than
scrappy
half
project.
that bin is full of stuff that's like leftovers. Like, oh, I'll use this someday for something. Well,
Yep.
today is the day.
Hooray!
And that is the thing. Excellent. Yay.
If you don't find a scrappy project, you can find an elementary school art teacher.
True enough.
True. Or any art teacher. It doesn't have to be elementary.
Yeah.
That's where my experience is with
Yeah.
an 11-year-old. So
Yeah.
Any,
got-
anyone
Oh
else?
no, that's not
Oh,
all I
it's
got.
not-
I made a potato.
Oh yes, you made a potato. I love a potato.
Eh,
Oh, I'm a potato.
I love it.
You can see a better picture on our Instagram, but
Yes.
Yes.
the potato was an absolute hit at work.
Fantastic.
Good.
good.
We were playing hot potato at work, so they had just like a picture of a potato taped to a teddy bear, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." So I was like, "I'll make a potato because why get a potato from the store that'll rot and be wasted
Yep.
when you can just make
Make a
potato from all that yarn you have."
There you go.
All that yarn.
That is exactly the sort of thinking that I would have. So I approve.
I love your
project
potato.
is Danny approved.
Project is Danny approved, yes. Let's see. Anyone else have stuff they want to talk about?
I am working on a pot holder, but I actually am not sure if I'm actually using the right kind of yarn for that.
Oh. What kind
There's
of
a wrong
yarn
kind?
But yes, depending on how hot your pots are.
Oh,
Yeah, I just started about, I was like, I'm going to make a pot holder. And I was like, pot holders hold hot things. I'm not using the right yarn probably.
What?
Acrylic melts, for example.
Yes. But wool,
Oh, yeah.
wool is a good choice. And
This is
cotton
wool
is
yarn.
a good
Cotton,
choice.
yeah.
Natural fibers are going to be okay. But yeah, acrylic and nylon and polyamide, those might melt.
Holly, what?
Polyamide? Is that
some other plastic.
plasticky thing?
Thank you.
Yes.
I didn't know.
I have many fibers in my stash. It's fine.
What? You
Never.
What?
never.
One of these days, you guys have to come visit me so you can see my stash room, and I'll give you all some yarn.
Dash room.
Yes,
It's a box.
it is.
Exactly, as they said.
The room is a box. It's fine.
I got pretty yarn.
Oh yeah, you did.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Show us your yarn.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Oh, is that from Alaska?
Yeah, so this is from 14 Mile Farm, who is someone that I actually went to university with. And I randomly came across it
Amazing.
at Fox Grocery in Fox, Alaska,
nice.
and went, wait, no, this is Jay's stuff. I know this stuff.
That's
So
so cool.
I found two
Ooh.
matching ones, and I'm thinking I might want to make a shawl out of it, but I don't know if it's enough. It's together, it's about 460 yards.
Yep, that's enough for a smallish, like a shawlette.
A shawlette.
Yeah. That's
Well, if you have recommendations for a relatively easy shawlette pattern,
Oh.
I
I'm
I can
open,
send you many.
please.
Yeah, there's some really Danny has sent me one. Tin
The tin
something
can
or
knits?
other. Yes,
Yep.
that one.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a whole pile of shawl patterns sitting in my Dropbox. I will comb through them and send you the names of the most beginner friendly ones that are still pretty.
yes, please. Yeah, there's
Actually-
actually
check out our fiber friend, Tyga Hilliard. She's got a bunch of
Oh,
really
yeah.
great shawls, and they're all very, the patterns are very beginner friendly. They're not necessarily super simple, but they are written in a way that is simple to understand, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Like, her things are pretty and they look complicated, but when you read through the pattern, they are not complicated to make.
Okay.
I recently found out that I have to have patterns that are written out and not in
Graphs.
Charts?
yeah, I
Art.
can't do it because my brain
Lord,
goes,
yeah,
what am I
charts.
looking at?
Yeah.
Just give me the words.
So I found I was like that for a really long time. And I started forcing myself to try charts. And I looked at patterns that had both charts and written out. And I was forcing myself to use the chart until I got really confused. Then I'd read the written out bits. And then one day it was like a light switch flipped. And suddenly charts made sense. And I
You're
couldn't
a
tell you
wizard.
why. Well, no, it's just one of those that you do it long enough and finally your brain will just go, "Oh yeah, you're an idiot. Why didn't you get that before?" And you're like,
Was it
"Sorry,
great?
brain. I was busy." But
I can confirm
Yeah.
similar experience for me. And for me, part of it really happened when I started writing patterns because I wanted to write patterns with both written and charted instructions. So I had to force myself to it. And then it was hard at first, but then it clicked. And now I prefer charts.
You're also a wizard, Greg.
I'm a engineer is what it is.
Okay, fair. There's that too.
but it really was. There was just like a click and it suddenly made sense, whereas I had been struggling and struggling for a couple of years. And so don't feel like there's something wrong if you can't get charts. If that is not the way your brain works, that's not your way your brain works, and you have to figure it out eventually on your own. And if you don't, you don't, and that's okay too, because most good pattern designers these days will provide charts and written out instructions.
Yeah, I ran into a pattern that just had a chart and I went, oh.
Yeah. Now, see, I like the ones that just have charts if they're a foreign language one,
Yeah.
because then it doesn't matter that I can't understand the Spanish abbreviations for knitting stuff. I can read the symbols and make my thing,
Meanwhile, I translated a pattern from Spanish once.
which is fantastic. And I don't know that I could do that.
I believe in you, Danny.
You could like start a chart to word service. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I have some projects.
Really?
I do.
No.
None of them are finished. I
What?
have a pair of socks that's upstairs, and I've only gotten to the heel because it was for the sock class that I teach. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
these. Doesn't look like a whole lot. I'm gonna try and get one up close.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So
are
these
those sleeves?
Are sleeves for a
Look at me.
sweater for
Knowing
Ren.
things.
Hey, sweater.
So the sleeves are done, and I'm so happy with them. They are so cabley. And then
Do-
the body of the sweater has 2 front cables and then this back cable that is a 3 cable pattern of like intertwining, and oh, it's gorgeous. And it is such a thinky thing. Like it is
On dark yarn.
Yeah.
On
Yeah, navy
dark
blue yarn. Cables, multiple cables. I have I've got an app on my phone. It's a counter app that lets you put in different portions, and you have to set it up right. But when you set it up right, when you tap on your main overall row counter, it puts in for all the different sections. So I can see that on chart A, I'm on row 5, and on chart B, I'm on row 7, and on chart C, I'm on row 2. And you just,
Wow.
because otherwise I'm going to get lost. I can read my knitting, but that's a lot of reading to do.
Sure.
On dark
Yeah.
yarn.
On dark
Again,
yarn.
I say
Yes.
on dark yarn.
Yes,
Yeah.
I only knit on it sitting upstairs in my recliner that has the Ott light right over it. wearing my reading glasses. So that's how I have to do that one, and that's fine.
100% checks out.
It's good to be loved.
Is there a reason that you started with the sleeves?
Yes, because
Okay.
I am a naughty knitter who hates to swatch if I don't have to. And so the sleeves are relatively small. I could knit like
Okay.
up to almost the elbow, and once I was there, measure my gauge.
Oh, okay.
And then if it was wrong, I would have to tear out, half a sleeve. But I find
You say
that swatching doesn't work for me because my tension is always different in the swatch than in the finished project. And
Right.
I think it's just a different mindset, I'm using the same needles, the same yarn, the same everything, and my swatches are always off compared to the final. So I generally don't swatch. I just start knitting and then I measure because my grandma taught me to knit and my grandma pulled everything out. So if I have
you
to
say you're a naughty knitter because you don't swatch. I say you are following the advice of the knitting master Elizabeth Zimmerman, who also advocates swatches and sleeves can be the same thing.
I also don't swatch, but that's because I'm a lazy lady.
You're a naughty knitter, DB.
I am
Danny
a
is
naughty knitter.
Not just a naughty knitter.
Ooh.
A cardigan
I swatch
pattern.
when it's super important, but if it's just like a whatever pattern, then no.
well,
We die like men.
I did
I've been looking at a
swatch.
cardigan pattern. And I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. I swatched for the second thing I'm working on,
Ooh.
which is a test knit for the Little Wolf Knits. It looks weird right now because it's rolling because it's in the
Stocking it
process.
in there.
Yeah, but it's got it's going to be a little tank top thing.
Oh.
I'm doing the option with straps, but the straps get put on last. But this is the top end, and the yarn I'm using is sort of a self-striping, but like a shawl-based self-striping. So it's got like big stripes.
Okay.
So it's gone through 3 sets of stripes so far. So I'm working on that. It is due August 24th, which is good because it means I've got lots of time to work on it because I kind of put it aside because I got hit with inspiration for a design. And I'm going to show it to you, but I am going to be pulling it back because I don't like how the lace work is working up. It goes this way. So it's going to be a half circle shawl, a half pie shawl.
Oh yeah, we were
And
talking
it's
about
got
this.
these little V's, but I think the V's are too close to each other and they're sort of going to end up looking like diamonds. So I need to pull it out and put more rows
I
in
can see that.
between so that it looks like V's because it's supposed to look like little V's. But this is based on a character from the show that I'm in on Mondays. Lauren plays Oclys, and Oclys wears this bright yellow sundress with little details like that and a little flounce at the end. So it's going to be a half pie shawl, so a half circle shawl, and the bottom is going to have ruffles. So I'm very excited about it.
like it.
It is super cute.
So that's what I've been working on. I started on the sweater and then I signed up for the test knit. I'm like, well, I guess I need to start working on the test knit because it has a deadline. And then I got hit with the idea for the shawl. I'm like, well, I'm going to put everything else aside and work on the design thing that's in my head. And it's fine.
Danny said, "Oh, it's due on the 24th. I have plenty of time."
Oh,
and
no.
That's
DB
like 3 weeks.
DB said, "Wait, that is not enough time."
But I mean, the whole top is only like 8 inches long.
Oh.
Like it's
They're
a
small.
cropped tank thing.
Oh,
Danny,
Yes.
DB is still saying that is not enough time.
Well, I'm a wizard. I use my magic wands.
Yes.
Magic sticks.
You are a wizard.
Apparently, I'm in the market for size 19 needles. I don't even.
Those are
Or-
large.
Those
You
are
could kill vampires with those.
Yeah, those aren't knitting needles. Those are stakes.
Well, I've been looking at this cardigan pattern, and I was like pricing out yarn. I'm like, oh, I need like 15 skeins of yarn because I'm gigantic. And I was like, well, what size needle do I need? 19.
Might as well just go get some dowels and sharpen them.
I mean, honestly, depending on what the diameter is, yeah. And it's going to be cheaper.
Rustic.
There you go.
With extra splinters.
PVC pipe.
Okay. Wow, that was a lot of knitting that we all had.
We actually did. We did crafts, guys.
Well, I mean, it has
Why
been 2
You
months.
don't wait for 2 months. I mean,
It's going to happen, yeah.
Well, I mean, one of my crafts I literally started like yesterday, so
That's fine. It all works out.
I was surviving the month of July, and that's all
And
that I
that's-
managed to pull off.
and we
that is
thank
enough.
you for it. Yes. E, you wanted to actually talk about technique tonight.
I did
yeah.
because this I came across in the red stripe that I had tied some
Oh,
bits together, and
yeah.
I was like, "Who did this? Past me? How dare you?" I was just wondering how y'all do your joins, because I'll do like almost a double knot, like wrap it 3 times and then wrap
Okay.
it 3 times and then pull it. My mom taught me that it's more secure because that's how you would do a suture.
Right?
And I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like it.
Yeah.
I think it's true.
That's my secret. I don't do joins. Ah!
It depends on what I'm working with. So if I'm working with a wool, like a pure wool, I will often do, what's it actually called? It's a split splice.
A
Spit
felted
splice.
joint.
Yeah, a felted joint. That's the one. Because
yeah.
you're not supposed to just spit on the yarn anymore. It's apparently not hygienic.
Oh.
Oh,
Whatever.
But no, you get the yarn wet and you
Oh,
get the 2
spit.
ends and you just
geez.
rub them together and they felt together and become one strand.
Mm.
Oh.
But you can't do
Alright.
that with acrylics because they
Or
don't.
cotton.
Yeah, it has to be something that will felt. So it's got to be an animal fiber that felts.
That's not superwash.
That's
right?
not
Yeah, that
superwash
felts.
because
Right.
superwash doesn't felt.
Yeah, superwash doesn't felt. Yep.
It's not supposed to felt.
I
If you treat it gently, it won't felt. Usually.
I do that with natural fibers sometimes. The 2 that I come to a lot are a clasp weft join, which is from a weaving technique, and that's where you take like one thing of yarn and like make a loop, and then take the other one and do that, and so do that and put it and make a loop, and then you hold them together, and then you knit, so like you're knitting the loop together as if it were one strand. And then where it joins, you keep going and you knit it together as if it were one strand. And then the next row around, you have to make sure when you hit those stitches, you knit through both of the loops that were knit together.
That's just too scary for me because I feel like I'll drop it and it'll just.
You won't.
It depends, and it depends on how long a tail you use too. Like
Right.
I'll use like 6 inches worth of knitting the 2 together. So it's
Yeah,
a
I'll
lot,
have-
but
what?
I'll have 10 to 15 stitches in each part of the on either side of the join. So it
Oh.
really does lock it in together really well.
I have a question.
Mhm.
How is this different from just weaving in ends when you're like using multiple colors?
It's not really. I mean, it's
Okay.
It's a little bit different in that the 2 are entwined right where
Okay.
they join.
Okay.
And so you also still have
You
to
can-
weave in the ends, but by
Okay.
having them entwined like that, they're less likely to split apart in the middle of your knitting.
You can put tension on them while you're knitting, which you wouldn't be able to do as easily if you tried to weave it in.
My
while you're
like
knitting.
we were talking about this and I'm sitting there going, I've never done this a day in my life. So I was like, okay. Got it.
So the other thing that I use is called the Weaving Steven.
Yes.
Weaving Steven.
Weaving Steven, yeah.
With Stephen West, right? And it's like you knit and then you take your one of the strands, and you wrap it around the working yarn after you knit a stitch, and then wrap it around, and it ends up wrapping around as you go. Do that for 10 or 15 stitches, and then it's pretty nice and secure. Stephen West has a good like YouTube video that shows how to do that.
See, I just do that after I knot it.
Yeah, I don't like putting knots in it.
That's
like
fair.
when I cast on, I don't even use a slip knot anymore. I just wrap it over the needle and
Yeah.
create a loop without a slip knot.
The
Wow.
only time I use the slip knot is for casting on socks at the very beginning, because I use the Turkish cast on, and you slip the knot off at the end and pull it loose anyways.
So it's a fake knot. A
Apparently,
provisional knot.
that is not how I learned how to cast on, so I don't even do that.
There's dozens, if not hundreds, of ways to cast
Oh,
on. So
yes.
Danny taught me one way, and that's how I've always done it.
I've learned one way. The shawl that I keep glaring at tried to teach me another, and I went, this isn't working. I did get very short needles to try and because what I was running into with that. Sorry to sidebar. What I was running into with that was that, you know, when it's these needles, they were just so on top of each other that I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that these significantly shorter needles will help. We'll see.
Yeah, and like it or not, it's not just for fun that we collect different needles. They actually really do work differently for different cases. Like, non-knitters don't always get it. My husband looks at the number of needles I have and he's like, why? Like, well, because I can't use the metal ones for bamboo, because bamboo yarn just slides right off them, or silk will just slide right off of them.
Yeah, this yarn wants to slide off of the metal needles that I got. It was just like so slippery.
Yeah, like some yarn just doesn't play well with metal. Some yarn doesn't play well with wood. Like some of the acrylics that I use just don't play well with my bamboo needles. They stick too much, and I'm constantly fighting to shift the needles around the yarn and yarn around the needles. And
all about the coefficient of friction.
yep.
Love that mu.
And everyone has different size hands, and you don't know until you're using the needles if these ones are going to be too short for you or too long for you. Are they going to get in the way of the way you hold stuff? I've had...
And your hands sweat differently, which
Yep.
affects everything.
And your hands can react with the material of the needles too. Like, I've met a couple of knitters who can't use metal needles because whatever oils and stuff are in their hands eats away the coating on the metal, and the metal starts to rust.
Oh my gosh.
Or they have an allergic reaction to like nickel plating.
Yep.
Sure.
So it's not just for funsies. Some of it's for fun. I also have a needle collection, and it's fine. But, you know, I reach for certain needles for certain projects because they just work well together.
The right tool for the right job.
Exactly.
Boy, your engineer is just showing real hard today, Greg.
Yep. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of engineering in knitting, even if
It's
it's
just
on the back
binary
end.
code.
So. Did that
Yeah,
help?
the way that I learned to join, I think, was called a Russian join.
Oh,
or
where you
something.
unwind the two bits of yarn and wind them together?
No, it was
It's a needle.
I'd have to look again, because I have to look every time that I join things together, because I do it so infrequently.
Yeah, there are a bunch of different ways to join yarn. But yeah, the clasp weft is probably the easiest. It leaves a little bit of a noticeable ridge if you know what you're looking for, but so does weaving in ends. So
Yeah.
Everything does. The spit splice is about the most secure and unnoticeable
yeah,
one, because you can felt it to the exact same diameter
yeah.
as one yarn, because and you kind of end up pulling it out a little too. But it only works with feltable yarn.
Exactly, and it's a little tricksy to do. Like it takes some practice. I would recommend that you try felting your two ends together before you put it into a project. Just take some scraps and make sure you can do it.
Greg over here, like,
Sounds
sure.
unnecessary.
You know.
That sounds like good unnecessary advice.
Yeah, I didn't look at any yarn joining stuff. I just tried to do a fisherman's knot because that seemed like the easiest thing to do.
And if you don't mind knots in your knitting, that's fine. And it depends on what you're knitting too. Like, I have, I have my Epic blanket that I got back into knitting with because I make stupid choices, and that one has knots in it because it was going to be a giant blanket for sitting in the student center. And screw it, I'm not picky about it. It's garter. It's not going to bother me to have a knot. But like in socks, not
sure.
a
Oh,
chance. I'm at the point where I'm considering doing the princess soles for my socks now because my feet are that picky.
What is that?
That is where you knit. So normally when you're knitting a sock in the round, you're knitting all knits, but to do a princess sole, you reverse, and on the bottom half of your foot, the sole, you purl so that the inside is the flat side of the stockinette, so that you don't have the little bumps of the purl side, because your feet are dainty princess feet that are very
Such a
sensitive.
good idea. Such a good idea. I like the way the purl side feels on the bottom of my feet. I like that extra
It's like a
texture.
massage.
See, I don't mind it when I first put my socks on and put my shoes on, and if I don't take my shoes off all day, it's fine. But once I take my shoes off, my socks shift just a little bit. And so the pearls don't sit in the ridges that they've made in my feet all day. And it's very wrong and very upsetting. And I have to take the socks off. So
This tracks. I will not try to convince you otherwise on that.
Me and my ADHD says no shoes, no socks. It's like second I get in the house, like just
It's how my country ass is. I feel it.
you know, like I walk outside into my neighborhood and they're like, Ernest, wear your shoes. I'm like, what?
I own those.
I went to the office last week, and it was the first time that I wore shoes all day since the pandemic, basically. And I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah, I prefer not wearing shoes and socks. I also live in a 100-plus-year-old house with redwood wood floors. I kind of have to wear shoes.
Lenters.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'll remember that when I come visit you.
Yeah, I actually have like house shoes when I'm not wearing like shoes.
Yeah.
And I
I've
have
put
different
holes-
house shoes depending on whether it's hot or cold.
I have put holes in a lot of my socks because of the nails that work their way up out of the hardwood floors sometimes.
Oh,
I know where all the nails are now, so I just don't step on them. And but yeah, I never walk around in sock feet, either barefoot or with slippers.
See, I live in the Pacific Northwest.
Too cold.
Socks.
Yeah.
Unless it's the summertime. Like, I'm not wearing socks right now. But
You know, it doesn't matter. My feet can be cold, no socks.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I don't like the feeling.
oh, neurodivergence.
Brains are fun.
The
If I'm
spicy
driving
thoughts.
too long, it's like, man, like in the middle of the drive, if I've been driving for a few hours, it's like, well, it's time to get these shoes off my feet. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I like since I work from home and everything now, I realize that if I wear shoes all day, my feet swell. So like
Mm-mm.
it's a whole shebang, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yep.
So, warning: during the drive, there may be a point where I am shoeless.
That's fine.
It's your vehicle, dude.
Yeah. I don't have a
Every-
problem with feet. Like
Everyone brings smelling salts.
I take care of my feet luxuriously. Thank you. I have a pedicure. Set.
Ooh,
Nice.
I'm overdue for one of those.
I haven't had one of those since my cruise. But also they were kind of mean to me, so I was like, I don't want to go back there.
Aw.
Oh no.
And like apparently I had a hangnail and they dug that bitch out and my foot bled. And I was like, and then hurt for like 3 days, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that again.
Yeah.
But no hangnail.
Yay.
Yay.
Not worth it.
No.
Sounds
Yeah.
like.
No.
I have a bad habit of like chewing my hangnails off on my fingers.
Yeah.
And I have made myself bleed. And every time I'm like, why do I do this? I know better. I should not do this. I still do it every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Human nature.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and take our quick break so we can get our recording stuff set up. And we're going to actually play tonight.
Oh,
I don't know how far we'll get because we're going to ease back into it. It's been 2 months. But
Summer schedule.
Summer schedule, yay! We will be back in about 10 minutes. So friends, please stick around. We'll see you shortly. Bye.
Bye.
and welcome back. This is episode 24 of Crits and Knits.
Goodness.
Does anyone remember what happened last time? What happened?
I do, because I just finished editing the episode.
Yay!
So, not much. It was our shortest episode yet, but that is okay, because we had a good time, and Danny almost had an aneurysm.
Oh, I remember that.
I don't. Tell me what happened. Tell me a story.
The reason Danny almost had an aneurysm is because we learned that horses are hung like Erasmus, not the other way around.
Fuck.
Allow me to interject, because Herder wrote a poem about this.
No.
Oh God, I don't know if I can listen to it.
I
Yes,
will.
please.
Go on.
The equines will generally cuss. Everyone wonders what is the fuss. Then he dropped his pants, and we all snuck a glance. Well, horses are hung like Erasmus.
Oh, I hate how much I love that.
I thought a limerick was fitting.
It
Yes.
is.
We're gonna have to take everything that you've ever made so that we can just put it on the Patreon so people can read it, but also hear your voice. Lord.
So after
And that's
that
all I have to
bomb
contribute to the recap. What else happened, Dee?
After that, we came across two trolls, and Isolt, well, we all decided to help, but Isolt did most of the helping. She went and had to remove curse on the injured troll's wound, because it was a cursed wound of some sort. But after she removed curse, then it was able to heal itself, and the trolls kindly let us cross their bridge that they lived under. And then we took a long rest.
Because
Ah,
we're
Yeah,
old.
that's about it. Not a lot happened, but you did learn quite a bit, especially with the whole troll thing.
Yes. I have a feeling that the trolls will not be nice on the way back, though. You may
And
have
So
to
we might take the other path.
other trolls, yeah.
That's true, because you skipped the first bridge. Do we remember why we skipped the first bridge?
No, this was the first bridge.
Was this the first one?
Yeah,
I
because
thought
you
so.
said you can go to the troll bridge, or you can go further down and go to the non-troll bridge.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we took the troll bridge. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have the order reversed. All right. So
Because we
you-
also did talk about just murdering them.
you did have that.
That was only
option.
floated very briefly.
It was, and I think also Nalitha kind of went, no, we shouldn't do that, which is odd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was like, no, we shouldn't do that. What?
Is Nilith
Are
okay?
you, are you all right?
Yes.
So you did take a long rest in the covered wagon. Covered cart. Covered cart. You wake up feeling relatively refreshed, maybe a little bit achy. Your old bones don't handle sleeping in a wagon nearly as well as they did back when you first started adventuring. But, you know, that's a thing that happens sometimes, unfortunately, with age.
Herder gets up and puts some coffee on and pulls the bagpipes out to kind of stir everyone up for a good start to the day.
That-
Erasmus wakes up and he pulls out a jar of Tiger Balm. That
Oh.
a big old jar of camphor, and just
Is he sharing that?
yeah. He's gonna put it down in the middle of the cart, like anybody who needs that.
And Isolt, I'm sure, takes the substantial period of time required to put all of her armor back on again.
Mm-hmm.
We did have a lot of armor off, armor on, armor off, armor on, yes, last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, even when she was young, she didn't sleep in plate armor. Now that she's old, it's like, that is a young idiot's game.
That is true. That is so true. So you're now on the...
Herder,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just say, Herder passes the coffee around and reminds everyone he's got his sweet spoon. If everyone wants to sweeten their coffee up, they can stir it with his sweet spoon.
Do you have a spoon that does cream?
No, I'm sorry.
No, I
Thank
got
you.
this alchemy jug. I can make it pour. I can make it pour milk.
I'll take it.
How much milk?
It fills up the jar.
I mean, actually, it could become a jet of milk. I mean, depends how much milk you're looking for.
Just a little.
All right. Well, all right.
Oh, I've got visions of
Thank you.
an accidental jet of milk just knocking
It's
poor Owen
utter-
over.
I
Utterly-
mean, how else was I going to fill up that tub full of mayo? Way back when.
It's an utter disaster.
Uh,
Boo!
Look, I can make I can make milk, mayo, oil, water.
You could probably also make cream, right?
No, look, there are very clear instructions on the alchemy jug: milk, mayo, oil, water.
Out of all the things, why is mayo one of them?
I don't know.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Have you tried to have it make cream?
Well, I mean, look, I'm not trying to break nothing today.
this is fantasy medieval times. It's not like it's going to do fat free at 2%.
True enough, true enough.
I can also make vinegar, swine, acid.
So-
Wine?
Beer.
Alchemy jugs are fast. Beer too, I think.
Yeah, beer, some basic poisons. Yeah, I can't do cream. Milk.
Oh,
I can do
Just-
vinegar. You want 2 gallons of vinegar?
I do not want 2 gallons of vinegar. But you literally said all you could make was these other things, and
Well,
then
I didn't read the
listed.
back. I didn't read the back of the card. Yeah, it's right here on this other stuff. Why do I need a bunch of acid? 8 ounces of acid or
Why wouldn't you need 8 ounces of
a half
acid?
ounce of poison? Who needs a half ounce of poison? That's ridiculous.
I do.
Definitely side-eyed Nelitha with that one.
And nobody needs 2 gallons of vinegar. Nobody
No.
needs a gallon of, okay, maybe somebody needs a gallon of water.
Well, I'm not going to lie. You could do some fun things with vinegar.
You do
And,
the gallon of oil and a gallon of vinegar and then like a bucket of bread.
Who the hell needs 12 gallons of salt water? Not
just-
Erasmus.
You just rub them in the wounds. It's a great torture device.
Ah.
Are you
Anyway.
surprised?
Salt
Not to the
also
slightest.
cleanses. I thought that might have been where you were going with it, but no, torture
Honestly,
makes much more
Vinegar
sense.
burns like a motherfucker.
Yes. Honestly, if it also did lemon juice would be very good.
No, I got this alchemy jug and I got this pouch of everlasting spices.
Nice.
Is
That's it.
there so as we're all talking, can I peek my head out? Are we like surrounded by enemies?
Go ahead and roll
Probably.
perception.
No perception.
And he's like, I was going to advance the plot, but everyone wanted to eat breakfast.
Plot,
30.
plot.
Yeah, you see nothing. It is pretty empty. You are just off of the road.
Okay.
You're in what looks to be a fairly well-trampled camping area. This is along the road between Glimmerhold and
Pennycross.
Pennycross. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. I remember the name of our town.
You are on the road between Pennycross and Glimmerhold, and it is a fairly well-traveled path. There are, as I mentioned, 2 bridges. You've crossed the first one, the Troll Bridge, and there's a second one that you'll probably reach about the end of today's travels. And both of those on either side have little camping areas, several places along the way.
I will get into the driver's seat of this cart and start moving us along as everybody is talking about this jug.
All right. Since you are driving, go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
15.
15. Okay. And I need someone else to just roll me a d20.
Oh,
Got it.
no.
12.
12. All right. So, Nelitha, you're not noticing anything out of the ordinary along the road. It's probably 2 or 3 hours, and you come to the other bridge.
Okay. Do I see any trolls?
You do not see any trolls.
Did you
Do
look
I-
under the bridge?
do I see anything that looks like it's going to take our cart and kill us all?
Roll me another perception. Let's see.
Well, I mean, you can't see yourself, can you?
It's her card already.
It is my
Yeah,
card
but
already.
the kill us all thing.
26.
Nope, it seems pretty quiet. Remarkably quiet, actually. You think it's maybe a little strange that you haven't seen anyone yet?
They're all
It's
dead.
quiet. Too
Any
quiet.
evidence of any evidence of people camping recently in the camping area by the side of the
Roll me a perception. Unless you're going to get out and look around, in which case you can investigate.
perception 10?
You don't see anything. I mean, the ground is still trampled. There's the fire pit. It doesn't look like it's on fire.
I'm gonna start moseying us across the bridge.
Okay. You cross the bridge.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You're now
Keep
back
going.
on the opposite side of the river, the side you originally started on.
What?
Is this the direction we want to go?
No.
I
Maybe
crossed
Nelitha
the
shouldn't be
bridge.
driving.
What are you talking about?
Now hold the hell on.
Wait a minute.
So
Now, where are you taking us?
I thought I was going in the right direction.
Oh shit! I knew she was blind.
I'm not blind.
Hold on.
Oh.
Blind, bird-boned, full 100-year-old elf.
Oh, and Nelitha obviously does not know how to handle your horse.
Nobody knows how to handle a horse.
Anyway.
Don't let
No.
Erasmus near the horse.
Anyway, wait, did I accidentally cross the bridge wrong, Danny? Like, what's happening?
Well, you didn't need to cross again. Pennycross
Well, then I would-
and Glimmerhold are on opposite sides of the river, and you crossed
Okay.
the first bridge.
Okay, then I would not have crossed the bridge.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought it was there's a bridge and then we went on and then there was another bridge that we had to cross going towards
No,
Glimmerhold.
there are two bridges across the river that are
Yeah,
about
that
a day apart.
I understood the same way the DB did.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would not have crossed the bridge
Okay.
knowing that.
We'll just back that out. You didn't cross the bridge, but you
Lord.
looked at the bridge. You
No.
didn't see anything
Yeah.
at the bridge.
Pretty bridge.
Yeah. Look at the pretty bridge.
So bridgy.
Melissa's really just trying to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Nelitha misses the fire genasi.
You know.
Nelitha will find somebody else along the way. It's fine.
Oh,
Oh,
You're so
a
free ship.
genasi at every port.
Oh,
Maybe.
Do we got time for all your situationships?
I always have time for my situation.
Relationships. Oh my god, that's the best thing to call them.
that's fantastic.
That's
Anyway.
beautiful.
So, yeah, when you
That's
come to that bridge, you don't notice anything under it, no trolls around.
Okay.
But yeah, Herder, you are feeling a little bit uneasy now that you've noticed the lack of things to notice.
I'll mention this to everyone. Y'all, this is a fairly well-traveled road, isn't it?
Yes.
It doesn't look like it is recently.
No, but you know, when necromancers raise the dead, it usually scares people away.
I came this way recently. It was fine. It was fine, right?
It was, yes.
Okay.
That was just like 2 days ago.
So
Yeah.
what did you do, Owen?
Oh yeah, it's Owen's fault. Did you raise the dead? Was it you?
No,
Yes.
I'm just Owen could have done something else.
Is
Did
it
you
me,
give everyone-
Jesus?
Did you give
Me,
everyone
Jesus.
cookies?
So, what time? It's still like what, midday?
As you're getting to that second bridge, it's getting to be afternoon.
Okay.
You're probably going to stop in a couple of hours. It was going to be about another day and a half worth of traveling.
I'll take a moment to like go up and sit on the other side of the front bench and look around and see if I see anything odd.
Okay.
What do your paladin
You're riding
eyes see?
crossbow.
Your paladin, I see. Okay. Well, with a nat 20,
Hell yeah.
27.
27. All right.
My Rowan dice never have they never have the d20s roll, and I think that they always want to prove themselves right after I pull them out.
Yes.
All right. So you're looking
Yes.
around,
Nah.
and it is quiet. It's odd because you also have traveled this road before, and usually there's something going on. Whether it's a caravan full of supplies or just people going to visit. There's always someone bringing their grandkids into Pennycross. But it's been really quiet. But there is nothing. And that's odd in itself. You don't see people, you don't see any large animals, you're not seeing anything monstrous, you're not seeing a fire burning in the distance. Nothing. It's just oddly quiet.
Are there birds singing or other like general nature sounds, but that wouldn't be caused by like the wind?
No.
That's too quiet.
I am going to hand the reins to Assault,
Take them.
and then I am going to stand up on the seat and like look at before she does. She'll be like, "Can I use
Yeah,
your
go ahead.
head?" Okay, and stand up and kind of like hold Assault's head just steady and just like stand on my toes a little bit to see if I could get a better look at like the surroundings, just to see if there is anything that would cause this.
Roll me investigation.
Can it be perception?
No, this one because you're intentionally
Actively, yeah.
looking.
You're investigating.
Okay. Well, okay, still good. So 26.
And again, you're not really seeing anything. There's nothing weird. There's just nothing to see. The plants seem to be growing like they normally would. The path is there in all directions. There's nothing that seems to be blocking it.
Are there like trees around us at all?
There are a few.
But not like a forest
No.
kind of.
No,
Okay.
the forest was closer to the mountains, and now you're getting
Right.
into more of a plains sort of situation.
I'm gonna look at Assault and go, should I scout ahead a little bit?
That may be a good idea.
All right. I am gonna click my boots of haste, and
Okay.
I'm gonna go stealthing out, quite a ways to see if I see anything.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your stealth.
Okay. 22.
Okay. You manage to get into the grass on the side of the road and crouch down, and there's a little hint of movement if you're looking for it, but you're very, very stealthy. And you get quite a ways up. How long would you go? Like 15 minutes or so? Or longer than that?
Yeah, I'd go for like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out. Going as far as I can, but still being able to see like our cart, because I don't want to be too far away from them.
Okay.
And knowing that they're coming as well.
Yeah. So, you get quite a distance away. You can still see the cart following behind you in the distance. There's still nothing. Just nothing. It's starting to get a little darker now.
Okay. I'll head back to the cart after. Still keeping an eye out, like even when I turn my back, I want to make sure that I'm aware in case somebody's like, oh, good time to sneak up on the rogue. It's never a good time to sneak up on the
I was
road.
literally about to say exactly the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So you get back to the cart, and you've noticed still nothing.
Pull myself back into the seat next to Assault and go, I don't know what's happening, but there's nothing out there. Can you do your holy thing?
Detect good and evil.
Divine sense. Well,
Unless it's something that you're not worried about.
no, I'm concerned. But if they're my particular abilities with this tend to be very close. And if something's that close,
There's a problem.
there's a very significant problem.
But
Didn't Owen have cookies that amplified that?
yeah, but Owen doesn't have those cookies anymore. Do you?
Why doesn't Owen?
I thought we ate them. I didn't think you had any more.
He didn't eat all
How
of
many-
them.
How many people ate? Because Owen came back with What,
I
a
think
dozen
we
or
all
more?
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
true. There's only, yeah,
It was a random effect.
It was
though,
random,
wasn't it?
yeah.
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 Yeah. So I mean,
But-
if Owen has an extra and he's willing to let me have it and let me try, I'm certainly willing to roll those dice. But
I have 7 remaining magic cookies.
Could Herder identify the magic cookies to find ones that would give the desired effect using the identify spell?
Ooh.
ooh,
Did I have you guys set up luck in your character sheets?
No.
No.
no,
Okay.
But I think I
Herder-
have it already because
Herder
that's
has the lucky trait, or Pete.
yeah.
Well, that's a thing that
I
I,
am
do
also lucky.
for my my home game. Is I've given them a stat called luck. And
Oh.
let me just pull one of those up so I can remember how I did it.
Tell me, are you feeling lucky?
funk.
How did that just open?
I should not do things that require hard back sounds.
Oh yeah.
I'm still figuring. So for the viewers at home, I am just recovered from COVID, which is why my voice is a little bit lower than usual. And one of the things that I've had to figure out is what my new limitations are. Don't love it.
You got the spicy cough.
Yeah. And I didn't actually cough all that much. Was a funny thing. I'm glad because it hurt when I did.
Yeah.
It didn't happen often, so that was good.
I think that was one of my big ones was I was coughing all the time.
Okay, so the way I do luck is it's going to be a skill. It's going to be charisma based. And if you have a lucky feat of any sort, you get to add your proficiency bonus to it.
Wow.
That's cool. So is there a particular place that the luck stat starts at?
That's a skill, so
Yeah, I do it as a skill.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Charisma based skill. So for me, that would be a +4.
Same.
Nice.
+1. Oh,
Paladins.
it is rough.
+4 plus proficiency.
Yeah, if you have the
Paladin.
lucky
So-
feet.
+7 for me then.
Paladin's casting ability is charisma, so it was one of those things I had to do.
I also get a +8 to that. That's nice.
Bards like to be charismatic, so
What?
No, no. Apparently, Nilitha is just charismatic as fuck. Sweet talk everybody out of their money.
Sure.
Owen,
Sure.
do you have your list of what the
Excuse me.
What the cookies
what
do?
the cookies do?
Yes, hold please.
Holding.
Dancing lights, detect good and evil, detect thoughts, dispel magic, entangle, fly, polymorph, and sleep.
one more time, a little slower for your DM who's a little confused.
Dancing lights, detect good and evil, detect thoughts, dispel magic, entangle, fly, polymorph, and sleep.
Okay.
And does this increase the range of those specific spells, or
Yes.
does it just drop it on you and then you have it?
If it is something that you already have, it increases your range. So Isolt got the detect good and evil, and it went from, what was it, 30 feet to, was it 30 feet that it normally is?
So-
Well, it's
we said-
interesting because detect good and evil and divine sense, which is the paladin ability, are different. I believe
Right.
detect good and evil is 30, but the divine sense is 60.
Okay. And I think the cookie, because it
was like a
combined the two
mile
of
or
them,
something.
we gave you a mile.
Yeah.
We ended up sending Nelitha out of town to investigate.
Because I felt something coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
Literally.
So, Herder, if you want to roll luck, let's see
Yeah.
if your identify is able to figure out which of these cookies.
Yeah, I rolled a 5, so plus 7 is 12.
You are pretty sure that you found one that will do the detect good and evil. Not
So,
100%
I think-
sure, but
I feel better than average that this one will give you what you want. I hope it doesn't put you to sleep.
Find out.
Oh, Lord.
and Isolt, I need you to roll me a luck.
Ooh, okay.
You got this.
Yeah. Flat charisma, dirty 20.
All right. You eat the cookie, and you feel that same sensation of just being able to extend your reach further than you had expected. You detect nothing particularly good or evil.
Damn.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I think it's good, but also,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's something that comes out at night.
Oh, gods. Well, I only need 4 hours of rest, so at least I'll be able to stay up and keep an eye out.
Well, how far do we want to go before we bed down for the night?
Oh, I'd say a little bit farther, then we'll stop.
I agree.
So at this point, you've still got a little bit more than a half day's travel to go.
Okay.
So you'll need to stop for the night or take a point of exhaustion.
Oh no, we're stopping for the night.
Okay.
We're not.
We
we're
do
not
too many
old.
skills to take a disadvantage on that.
Yeah.
All right. So when you stop for the
Also,
evening,
what he said.
what are you doing? Are you going to sleep in the wagon again? Are you going to pull out something else?
Up the fortress.
I think it might be better if we pull out the fortress because at least we're not out in the open more.
What do you mean pull out the fortress?
Oh, you'll see.
Hey,
Of
What's-
hell.
What's so funny to
So-
me is that 2 of us took this.
yeah, Rasmus pulls out this cube with a button on it. Ooh, it's been a while. Boom, and I toss it.
Thank God.
Yeet.
And from the box, a giant stone fortress kind of just builds itself like an erector set. Just,
What the sweet hell?
winning a game of cards against a wizard.
Hell isn't particularly sweet either.
You would know, yeah. This checks out.
All right. So you have now a fortress. Are you doing watches overnight?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I think one person's going to take first 4 hours and then Nalitha can take the rest.
Well, for those of us who aren't elves, it's gonna have to be broken up into two 2-hour watches because otherwise someone only gets 4 hours of sleep.
That's fair.
Okay.
I'll do one.
And I'll do one.
All right. So Owen, we'll let you take the first watch. Go ahead and roll me perception as you are, I assume, sitting on the top of the fortress.
Yep.
Okay.
$26.
All right. And you have your goggles on?
Yes.
Okay. You are watching the area, and there's nothing going on. You do hear the faint sounds of some insects in the distance. More sound than you've heard throughout the rest of the day.
Are there rabbits?
You do not see any rabbits.
Okay.
The rest
Nice
of your watch
callback.
is uneventful.
Okay.
Isolde,
And
you wake up and take your watch. Please roll me a perception.
25.
Okay. You also notice over the course of your watch, the insects grow a little bit louder. I don't know if any of you, well, Greg probably knows the sound of the cicadas.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the screaming that happens in the trees every like 17
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, except here it's every year, all summer long.
Yes.
Oh.
And you hear the sound of the bugs, the cicadas, the various other fantasy insects are getting to be normal levels by the time your watch is over. But that is the only thing that you have noticed.
I'll go and wake Nelitha and specifically tell her the noise levels over the evening have been getting more normal over the last couple of hours.
Still rather concerning.
Very much so.
All right. I go up and take the last 4 hours.
Okay. Roll me a perception, please.
Okie dokie. Oh gosh, what was that? Perception. 25.
25. And you can
Yeah.
see in the dark as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. In addition to the insects, you notice across the river, you think it's a deer that walks up to the edge of the river and has a drink and then wanders off. And
Definitely looks like a deer.
as
Not any weird like
no,
motions coming from it.
it's moving like a normal deer. There seems to be nothing unusual about it.
Okay.
And just as the sun is beginning to rise, as the rest of your party should be starting to get up, you do notice on the far side of the river, so it's a good distance away, what looks like it might be a rabbit. Just hopping down the road on the opposite
How
side.
far away is that rabbit?
It is on the opposite side of the river.
How far away is that rabbit?
500 feet.
Shit. Oh. There's no way I can hit it with my short bow.
Yeah, even a longbow, that'd be a hard shot unless you're a
Yeah.
sharpshooter.
Yeah. God damn it. All right. As everybody starts to get up, I'll keep an eye out while they're getting everything ready.
Okay.
Make sure there's nothing else coming before I will be like, fucking rabbits.
What? Rabbit? Where?
Rabbit.
Rabbit, yes. Cross the river
Okay.
on the other side. Don't like it.
Fair.
While everyone's getting ready, Herder gets ready quicker than usual, so he could spend some time flipping through Rickle Axagar's Book of Adventuring, 3rd edition, to see if he can find anything about rabbits or why things might be
Oh,
quiet,
Right.
because there might be something in the pocket guide.
Okay.
Love it.
Go ahead and roll me a nature check. to see what your guide has to say about the nature you're running into.
18.
Okay. You learn a lot about rabbits and their breeding habits and the different
I knew that was
colorations they
coming.
come in and how fast they can move. Lots of little random rabbit facts. Nothing unusual, anything that you could find as Greg by Googling rabbit. I will let you find that out in the handbook. There's also quite a bit of information about deer. You learn something about like the pattern of spots on the baby deers. Those are cute. You learn all
Any
about the
recipes?
antlers. Yes, there's an excellent recipe for venison jerky. Or at least you assume it's excellent. It's called the excellent jerky recipe. So
Nice.
Boy, you know it's only all right.
So yeah, you're able to find just some general nature stuff about.
Well, friends, there's a lot of cool stuff in my book about rabbits and deers and everything, but nothing about why things are quiet.
Now,
Well, things are no longer quiet. Which is still very concerning.
Anything else you guys want to do in the morning before you get back on the road?
Do the laborious process of putting armor back on, but other than that,
Do you need help?
I mean, help is always welcomed.
I
There's
will
some straps that
help.
are hard to reach.
I will help. I will help.
Who are you, and what have you done to Nella?
I don't know what you're talking about. I am always very helpful.
Thank you, Nelitha.
You're welcome. as Assault checks her pockets or some shit.
100%.
Yep, yeah, that checks.
Nilitha just smirks. Goes back out. Goes back out to the cart.
just tip her a grin and a little bit of a wink.
So you get back on the road. You're headed towards Glimmerhold, and it does take about a half a day to get there. And when you get there, you see the gates are closed.
The fuck?
Those of you who've been to Glimmerhold before, and I believe that's all of you because it is on the way to Pennycross,
Mm-hmm.
the gates are usually wide open. But the city is closed.
Oh, goody.
Do we
Why
see
are you
see-
peeking out?
Do we see any guards?
Not outside the gates.
Are there any on top?
None that you can see. But you're aware of the way some of these city walls are constructed, and you see spots where there are arrow slits, things like that, where the guards probably are located, but you don't see them.
Oi!
Hello, the town.
Where are you coming from?
Pennycross.
And you made it all right?
Obviously.
No trouble on the way?
No.
Nothing
Why-
unusual?
But no. What is happening?
We had an incident 2 days ago.
Okay, what kind of incident?
Not entirely sure. Some of our staff here, the wizards, claim there was a large magical disturbance. Set things off pretty strangely. Things were awfully quiet. Close the town up
Notice-
for safety. No one's going north.
We noticed the quiet, but nothing happened while we were traveling.
You mind if we have someone check you out before we let you in town?
Feel free.
Check me out anytime.
So, as you're waiting, a small door beside the gates opens, and a very nervous-looking woman steps out.
She should be.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. Oh my
Hi.
god.
Good luck.
Hi. I am supposed to talk to you. Will you consent to me using some magic to ascertain the validity of the things you're about to tell me?
Are you casting Zone of Truth?
Yes. If you'll let me.
Sure.
All right.
Nilith looks uncomfortable.
Can you, for the sake of argument, can you tell us what questions you intend to ask?
I intend to ask about the things you encountered on the road, and things that you may have seen, and any phenomena you may have observed.
Within the travel from Pennycross to here?
Yes.
Look at the two who are looking very shifty. Is that
All right.
acceptable?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Thank you very much. If you'll gather
Ask him about
close
horses.
together.
No.
Okay.
No, don't.
Okay.
Don't.
Please gather close together. And she takes a deep breath and closes her eyes, and her hands begin to glow, and you feel the aura of this spell fall over you. And you're all accepting it?
I choose to fail the check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Melissa doesn't like it.
She smiles
Yep.
as she feels everyone accepting the zone. Wonderful. How long ago did you leave Pennycross?
What was that?
2 days
days
ago?
ago.
2.5, 3 days ago?
2.5 days ago.
Excellent. Did you encounter anyone on your way here?
Trolls.
Two trolls.
Trolls. Oh,
At the bridge. At the bridge.
oh,
At the
Troll
bridge.
trolls. Okay, yeah, we know them.
They had been injured with a cursed
Oh.
injury that was not able to heal until I removed a curse.
Oh, you did. Were any of you affected by a curse or any other
No.
magical effects?
Not recently.
Wait, hold on. Technically, you have because of the cookie.
That's not a curse.
Magical effect is what she said, though.
Oh,
Yes, I am cursed.
You're
Oh
cursed.
God!
Oh no!
he's willingly connected to a cursed item.
Oh no! Can you please explain what cursed item you're connected to, sir?
I love this plate.
The plate
Oh.
makes him eat whatever's on it.
That is a very nice plate.
Don't touch it.
Oh, okay.
Don't do it.
I will not. But that is a willing curse. Okay. So when did you get that curse, sir?
Like
Like
a
a
month
week and a half
ago?
Like a month ago? Yeah, a month ago now. I love this plate.
A week and a half ago, or
Yeah, it's been
whatever.
a very short time, y'all.
So
Yeah,
it
I
was,
don't know.
It was not a curse that was obtained between here and Pennycross.
No.
Oh no, I got it.
Okay. I can
I
work
stole
with
it
that.
from a dragon.
You stole it from a dragon?
Well, we killed the dragon first.
You
Of-
killed a
of
dragon?
us- What? Yes.
Wow, you
Look, when
guys
there's
are
only
cool.
truth, I gotta tell the truth, right? So
Wow.
I was under a magical effect that helped expand the range of detect good and evil, but
Oh. Was that
She
an
ate a cookie.
intentional effect? Oh, a cookie. A cookie
very
did that?
intentional effect.
good cookie.
Yeah.
Oh, give her a cookie. Give her one of the cookies.
Oh, no, thank
I
you.
have-
I'm watching my diet, but I appreciate the offer. Are these magical cookies, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. Did you obtain them between here and Pennycross?
No.
No.
All right. Did you notice any unusual phenomena between here and Pennycross?
Yes.
What did you
It was
notice?
very
was
very
very-
quiet.
It was very quiet, and there was a fucking rabbit.
Rabbits
There was a
usually
rabbit.
But
concern?
not like breeding. She meant that in the derogatory term, not mating. I have a book that talks about the mating habits of rabbits.
Oh, well, that's good for you, sir. Okay. Are any of you currently under the effects of any magic items other than the cursed plate?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, funny.
Yes.
Oh,
We have a lot of magical items, but they are, with the exception of the plate, under our control rather than the other way around.
I'm completely under control of this plate.
You will not shut up.
You are lying, mister.
oh, well, he believes he's fully in control.
Um,
He just really wants to use the plate.
yeah, Nalitha has too much magic on her to answer any more than just yes.
Okay.
Yeah, ditto with assault.
But you have not obtained any additional magic other than the not levitation, the expansion of your powers from the cookie?
No.
Correct.
Okay. Please wait here while I go consult with the guards and see if we can let you in. I think that we should be able to, but it's not my job to say yes or no. I just have to give them the answers.
I appreciate
Right.
it.
Okay. I'll
Do
be.
you need to pat us down or anything?
Oh.
Ugh.
That sounds
The
unpleasant.
guards will probably do that. That's not really my
Okay.
jam. I just ask the questions.
All right. All right.
But if you want me to,
Herder, you are in a brand new relationship.
I will tell on you.
oh, he's in a
Oh.
relation. He has a girlfriend or a wife.
Yes.
Oh, you
Oh.
can't just be putting people's out here on Balder Street.
Oh, yes,
There's
I can.
the zone of truth thing.
I mean, with the zone of truth, yes, they can. They can absolutely say something like that, and prevent me from making a big error.
It ain't an error unless you feel like it's an error. Hold on.
Well, breaking up a
if-
happy
if-
home would be an error in my
If the two of
opinion.
them have discussed it and there is an agreement between them, that is none of my business,
Look,
but
I-
I
Well,
am not aware of that.
Look, if
The
Herder's
discussion
talking-
has not happened.
Oh, well
If
then.
Herder's talking, oh well. See, I was about to back you up on some bullshit.
If the
Herder. That-
discussion has not happened, then I will not participate, but thank you for the offer, and please rest for a moment while I go consult with the guards. And
When
she
she
disappears
leaves-
back through that little door.
Does the zone of truth go away?
Yes, she dispels it as she goes.
Oh,
Damn
Like,
it!
all right. Where are you? Bird or elf?
I'm an elf.
I do hate the feel of other people's magic on me. It itches.
Being
Are we
forced,
sure it's dispelled?
being forced to tell the truth is awful.
That's why you just tell the truth all the time.
No.
Or at least what you believe is the truth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, sure, yeah, that. If you just say the first thing that comes to mind, you can't go wrong.
Oh,
I think you can, actually.
that's some good advice. I'm gonna write that down for. Sounds like a song title right there.
that is a long song title. What are you, Panic
I-
at the Disco?
Thank you, because I was about to say that. Danny, I may have to message you.
Okay,
Ooh,
Give
secrets.
me 1 second.
I am waiting as
I love secrets.
that little magic user has gone into the town, and you can't really hear anything. It's fairly thick doors and thick walls, but you know that there is some discussion being had about what is going on and what the plan is and whether or not they'll let you in. Do any of you have anything you would like to do to help encourage them to let you in?
Ooh, I have a badge I can flash.
Ooh.
Let me.
Owen,
Look up-
fantasy cop.
No, ACAB.
Yeah, mood.
It is something, an insignia of my rank from my time in the military.
Ah, okay. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion with advantage.
That's not a D20. That's a. That would be not good. It was a D12.
20s and 12s look
They
too
do.
alike.
They're very
do.
close.
Do.
19.
Ooh.
Oh no, dirty 20. Excuse me. I can't read.
Okay. So you are making sure you do hold up that insignia so that it will be visible if they're looking through. Erasmus, any chance of you doing the same?
Well, I have the folk hero background, so since I come from the ranks of the common folk, I fit in with ease, and I can find a place to hide, rest, or recuperate among other commoners, unless I've shown myself to be a danger.
Okay.
I mean, I do have the background Knight of the Order, so I don't know if if LaRue symbol carries here, but that is I'm a unicorn knight.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Herder can pull out an instrument that he thinks the town might enjoy hearing and give a little performance.
If
All
it's a
right.
bagpipe, I swear to God.
That's why I said that he thinks the town might enjoy hearing.
All right. With all of those things that they're able to see through the little openings, it's a few minutes, but the gates do open. And there are two very large, very armored men who are pushing the gates open and beckon you in. Please move through the first set of gates, and please wait while we examine yourselves and your gear before we allow you into the rest of the city proper.
Fantasy customs is worse than real customs.
It really is.
So you get through between the two sets of gates. They give you a quick once-over. They're not super concerned because of the things that you've demonstrated and the conversation you had with the magic user. They're pretty cool with you, and they give you a nod. Right. Are you adventurers or are you just travelers?
Both?
Right.
I'm adventuring and traveling.
Retired.
Right. Okay.
We're old adventurers. Let that
Have
tell you
heard
what
of
it
me? I'm
does.
Rasmus Fowler, hero of the first Necromancer War. But
Oh my god.
kind of a big
These
deal.
people were probably not even born yet, Raz.
No, I
Well-
was not. But that's okay. I need to brush up on my history. I'll keep an eye out for your name in the
Oh,
future.
history. Ugh.
I just run the bar up in Pennycross, and
Oh.
I'm hanging out with these folks.
Right. Well, you did say that everything looks to be clear between here and Pennycross?
Yes.
Right.
Eh.
Things were getting back to normal.
Okay. Well, we will get a a different crew. I don't want to be offensive, so I won't do any more detail than that, but we'll get a different crew to go out and confirm that things are better, and if things are good, then we'll open up the gates again. We wanted to protect the town, you understand.
What happened?
Sure.
Well, that is I don't really know. I just know there was something weird and magic-y, and there was some black stuff in the sky, and everything got real quiet, and there
Black
were
stuff in the sky.
yeah, there were a couple of travelers that came in kind of panicked, without their cart. Rather, they brought their horse but left all their stuff, and I don't suppose you happened to see an empty cart anywhere along the way, did you?
No.
Right. Well,
Definitely would have looted that.
they made it to town relatively safe. They're at one of the taverns, I'm sure, one of the inns. You can ask around; they might be able to tell you a little bit more. But we were just in town and heard about all the panic and locked things down until we could be sure that the threat was gone. It seems like it is now, but
Were they the only ones?
they're the only ones that made it. I don't know if there was anyone else out there.
Well. Okay.
Right. Have a good time. And if you do plan to leave the city, you're going to have to go south, because until we get reports back, we're not going north.
All right.
Is the Porters Guild still operational?
Yes, because you don't have to go out the gates to go.
Excellent.
Right. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Thanks.
Hear that shit out when they called me history.
They also called me history
I want to go to the bar.
by extension.
You all are old. That's why they called you history.
You are also old. You old too. Damn it.
I'd argue older than all of us by.
You don't know that.
If you're old by elf standards, Let's just say that Isolde has reasons to know about elves' extended lifespans.
Look,
Herder starts
you
walking
wouldn't
to the
have
bar.
lied on your Penny Cross application, would you?
You think I wouldn't?
That's just sad. I'm disappointed.
Why would you think any other way?
I'm gonna follow Herder to the bar.
Yeah, also following with our cart.
So there are a couple of bars in town.
I go to the first one I see.
That seems like a good place to start. The first bar is really just a bar. There's no inn attached, but it is a fairly busy place, probably because no one is leaving town right now.
I order a stout.
Bartender slides it over. 2 silver.
I ask Erasmus to pay for it.
Oh yeah, hold on, I got you. Somebody's reaching this hole here.
The bartender
Thanks,
gives you a
Fred.
bit of a look, but
Now I reach entirely too deep into my back pocket, and I pull
Like
out
all the way up to the elbow.
and I pull out a handful of gold. All right, let's see it. 2 silver? All right, well, you make change.
yeah, we can make change, yeah.
Oh,
All right, well, there you go.
should have said no.
So
Hefty tip.
he gives you 8 silver
All right.
change and kind of,
Now just to keep the change tipping. Yep.
thank you very much. Can I get you anything?
What are you having, Herder?
I had a stout. Herder has already taken a sip of it, believes it to be very inferior to the stout that he makes himself, and tries to disguise that, but probably doesn't do a good job of letting anybody who's looking know that he doesn't particularly care for it. I had a stout. It's fine.
Sure. Yeah, I have a stout.
I'm gonna find a corner booth to keep an eye on the room.
Okay.
Listen into any conversations I can hear.
So you all get whatever drinks you desire, find your space to sit, and as you get comfortable, you start listening in. Nelitha, roll me. Do I want just perception?
It's up to you.
I would like sleight of hand. I think
Sleight of hand.
because you're trying to not be noticeable, right? You're not.
Oh yeah. Oh
You're trying to
yeah.
be subtle about it. So yeah, roll
Being
me
a
sleight of
sneaky little
hand.
sneaky snake. 30.
Okay. No one notices you sitting in the corner. And because they're not noticing you, the table beside you is getting rather in depth about the story they're telling about the black thing they saw in the sky outside of town.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to end for tonight.
Ah.
Sorry, guys. But we're at about an hour.
It's late.
And it is
Damn.
late and summer schedule, man. We're getting back into things, so
Hey, more happened in this episode than the previous,
exactly.
true.
technically.
And you've learned some things,
Yeah.
and you got
Yeah.
disappointed by not learning more things.
Erasmus learned he was old.
Yeah, that's a thing that some of us learn on a regular basis, and it's very sad.
Like taking medicine, all that other stuff. Yeah, whatever. But like people not knowing who I am.
Clearly.
So sad, so sad.
Do you know who I am? No, sir.
But I
I'm
want
the
to
man who gives you the lemons.
thank all of you for coming back after our summer break time. Thank you for joining
Yes.
us. Thank you for playing. Thank you to everyone who stuck around and watched us playing, including a couple of new first-timers and
Hello.
everyone who followed yesterday and today. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. We will be back in
All the love.
2 weeks' time, which will be the 9th of August.
Yeah.
And that's when you'll hopefully find out what these folks were talking about. Seeing
Two-
how-
two-
2 weeks
time.
is
Oh,
not the 9th.
yeah,
That's just one.
This
I know
is-
I know numbers.
Yeah.
It would be the 16th.
It's the one after the 9th, because
Right.
next week is
Of
when
how
we might do
math
That's Pretty Crafty. We're still deciding, because
works.
Danny clearly can't do 2 weeks math. 2-week math is hard.
I can
It's
help
all
you with
good,
numbers.
No, you can't.
He knows lots of numbers.
He does know
Numbers.
lots of numbers. But thank you all. We'll see you in 2 weeks, whatever that date happens to be. Good night, friends.
Bye.
Bye.